A topic I get asked about frequently is how to talk to kids about being more situationally aware. How do I talk to kids about situational awareness that's age appropriate? Before I dive into this topic, I want to remind you that you know the kid or kids best. I'm going to give you some tips and ideas on what to teach kids, but ultimately, you need to decide what you're comfortable with, and you do need to talk to kids about being aware of their surroundings and what to do in case of an emergency. Remember, the issue isn't strangers, it's the behavior of strangers. What's one of the biggest complaints of adults? Kids never listen. Especially at a store or in a crowded area, kids have that natural desire to explore. They don't have the maturity to be aware of a dangerous situation or person. They simply don't have enough life experience yet. When your instincts are telling you something or someone is not right, how can you get kids to stop whatever they're doing and pay attention and come closer to you immediately? Come up with a safety word. One simple word. Tell kids that if you or another parent or guardian says the safety word, they need to stop whatever they're doing and go to the person who said the word. Keep it simple, but not a commonly said word like car or doll or Legos, or a word that might be confusing. Depending on where you live, you could use words like avalanche, hurricane, or iceberg. It's also very important to only share this safety word with key adults. You would never want this safety word abused to gain control of a child. More than likely, you were told as a child to never talk to strangers. You've probably repeated this message to the next generation, but here's the thing. Someday that child is going to have to talk to a stranger. It's so easy for a child to wander off, and when they realize the parent is no longer in their sights, they may panic. And if you haven't taught them what to do, they might not make the safest decisions. Maybe it's picking a meeting spot in case they get separated from you. Meet me by the coffee shop in the store, or meet me by the mini donut concession stand. Or tell them to find a woman. Yes, tell them specifically to find a woman. Here's why. Traditionally, women are caregivers, and whether or not they have kids, women are far more likely to help a child with whatever they need and see it through to the successful ending. Also, statistically speaking, women are less likely to be a sexual predator. It's better to teach kids how to pick out which stranger to ask for help and how to actually ask for help. So between the ages of 4 and 6, it's a good time to start talking about strangers. This is the time most kids are starting school and interacting with adults they don't know. A great question to start with is, do you know what a stranger is? If they aren't sure, let them know a stranger is someone they don't know. It's really that simple. Go through a list of people they know and then list people they don't know to help show them the difference. Now, it's important not to scare them. Remind them that a stranger is not necessarily a good or bad person. A stranger is someone they don't know. Between the ages of 7 and 10, have them practice asking a stranger a question while you are close by. Start with something simple. Have the child pick a stranger to go up to and ask what time it is. Again, you are close enough to overhear the conversation, but far enough away that the child won't look to you for you to ask the question. After this exercise, ask them why they picked that particular stranger to ask their question. Ask them how the stranger reacted. Were they annoyed or helpful? This is a great way to learn about their intuition, why they picked the stranger they picked, and how receptive they are to another person's body language, how the stranger reacted to their question. Between the ages of 11 and 13, the child will probably be getting into more and more activities. This is a great time to help them recognize their own intuition signals. Watch them interact with other adults. teachers, coaches, etc., and ask them how they felt when that adult interacted with them. Remember, it's important for the child to understand that their feelings matter. If they tell you, "It felt uncomfortable or strange when that person stood so close to me," don't dismiss or downplay that feeling. Ask them to tell you more. Maybe something along the lines of, "Why? Why did it make you feel uncomfortable?" Kids need to feel like they can tell you anything and that you will listen. Now, when the child hits the high school years, the ages of 14 to 18, they're going to experience all kinds of growth and change. They're going to test boundaries and push for more independence. You may have heard this before, but I feel like it's important to remind you, it's more important to be their parent than their friend. Give them boundaries to protect them and show them how to set their own healthy boundaries. Talk to them. Ask about their friends. Ask them where they're going. Ask them about their feelings. Teach them how to separate behaviors from the person displaying the behavior. For example, teach them to think, "Why is this person trying to charm me?" instead of, "This person is charming." The key takeaway in this video is to remember the issue isn't strangers, it's the behavior of strangers. If you want to start the conversation of safety and situational awareness with kids, but don't know how to start with that. Talk to them and teach them to pay attention to behaviors and let the conversation go from there.